Okay. Are we live here? We are live. Hi, everybody. What is going on? Yeah, man. It's after midnight and I'm very tired, but we just saw SummerSlam. It's odd because Mark and I have very different opinions, as it turns out.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit before we started here, and yeah, man, that was SummerSlam. Those 5 hours of wrestling, man, it was a lot. That was Avengers Endgame and a half. That was a lot, man.
Yeah,
It was
and
a
no
whole heck
offense,
of a
I
lot.
honestly would have rather watched Infinity War and Endgame.
I enjoyed it. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna try and make it quick because I know a lot of people. If you are watching this live, you're dying to go to sleep right now. But we'll give it our rating system. We might be joined by a couple other people as we're going along, but we just wanted to get it going here because it's so late as it is.
I may change the rating system after our last podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody saw the last podcast, but Rick's video didn't work, so he had to use like different pictures of him. So I'm gonna score everything according to sad Rick face.
I wish I had that on there. I'll see if I can upload it. But yeah, man, last podcast didn't go too well for me. Yeah, I had a bunch of problems. I don't have the pictures anymore. Dang it! All right, I was going to upload one, but I'll find it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, man, let's get started. Let's just jump right in here. The pregame show. The pre-show was the match was Biggie versus Baron Corbin. I thought this was a great way to start the show. It was a good match. It was people love Biggie a lot. It got the crowd hyped. People love to mess with Corbin, and I thought this was good. What did you think?
Yeah,
man?
this is like the good and bad of the pre-show because this match definitely was a SummerSlam match.
Yeah,
But it was on the pre-show, whereas there's matches that were on SummerSlam that probably should have been, but they wouldn't have got the crowd as hyped. So it's one of those things that kind of sucks that Biggie wasn't on the main show, but I thought it was a solid match. Baron Corbin's character is fantastic. Him trying to steal the briefcase and run away with it again.
Yeah.
And Big E just looked great. The crowd was completely into him. He's on fire right now. And I really thought he was going to show up during the Goldberg match, and it didn't happen. There was just like, which we'll get into later, there's just this weird lagging part of the end of the Goldberg match. I thought something was going to happen, and then Big E was going to come out and cash, and nothing happened. I don't know. Maybe he didn't pull the trigger, or maybe it was just never in the plans. But yeah, it was Big E's a star, and
definitely.
Baron Corbin's story is honestly, besides Roman Reigns, the most interesting thing going on SmackDown, except for what happened tonight that we'll get into in a few minutes, which is kind of weird and awesome at the same time.
Yeah. What's your rating for this out of 4?
I will give it 3 sad Ricks.
3 sad Ricks. I don't have my sad Rick. I got that. That's all I got for 3. Cool. I'll have to go back
with like your pouty lip thing. It's so bad and hilarious.
Yeah. I had to edit real quick, and that's what happens when you edit real quick. You just make quick decisions.
You know what, dude? I'll tell you right now, that was a great save. I actually checked it out, and I was cracking up watching it. That was actually a great save.
Yeah, I tried. But yeah, me too with the 3. I got to give it a 3 as well.
I don't think it was phenomenal, but as an opener, I thought it was the right match to open. The only thing, and then the opening of the actual pay-per-view, which we're going to get into now, I think was actually the right opener for the pay-per-view itself too. Even though I knew it was going to be a long ride for me because it was one of the only like 3 matches I want to see tonight. So I knew the other 2 matches were going to be way later in the night. So it was kind of rough.
It was long. It was definitely by the end. I was like, I was itching for it to be over. But the matches that I liked, they kept me very, very much entertained. And this is one of them, man. The tag team match, almost an AJ versus RK Bro. And I'm definitely on the RK Bro train now. Even with Randy Orton and his weird ass goatee. I'm into it.
Everybody's so weird about it. It don't bother me. I think it actually fits his face right. I don't know. And like I told you, it's like evil Cartman. Now that he's a good guy, he needs a goatee. So I kind of like it. I think this match showcased him more than anybody. I think Randy looked amazing in this match. He looked fired up. Randy's one of those guys like a Brock Lesnar or whatever. When he's motivated, he puts on amazing performances, and it looks like he's having fun. Like supposedly these guys had heat back, in the beginning, but now I think Matt's won them over, and they're having a lot of fun in the ring. And AJ, I can't really say almost, but AJ's just a great opponent. AJ pulled off some crazy stuff. And that weird, what was it, like the tornado DDT off of almost his shoulder?
Yeah.
If that was someone like Paul White in the ring, that would have looked even more amazing. And I was watching that, and I was going to start writing notes, but then I was in the middle of something. But I want people to understand like how great Paul White really is. WWE keeps bringing these big 7-foot monsters in. They're actually even taller than Big Show was. And Big Show he moves better than them. He has better timing. I love him almost. He's got something about him. He misses like almost every time, just by like a half a second.
Yeah. He's definitely not the most technical sound guy. It feels like he got fast tracked. He was never in NXT, so we don't know. I've never seen him outside of the WWE, so I don't know where he got his training. If they just saw him and they were like, "Hey, yeah, come on in. You're tall enough. Welcome to the world of professional wrestling. Here's a tag team championship." But AJ, as always, looked great. What's his name? Matt Riddle or Riddle, whatever. Looks great. Fantastic. Yeah, and of course Orton shines as he does every time. He's never really lost a step. So I'm mainly because it was there was a title change, and RK Bro, new tag team champions. The crowd was super hot. This was the opener of SummerSlam 2021. It got me excited. I was cheering, so I'm going to give this match.
You're giving it a 4.
Giving it a 4.
I thought, if it was finishing the story of them uniting and winning the title, definitely a 4. I just thought the match, it's just, God, I wish AJ had somebody in the ring with him that could work. Because you're looking at probably, if you put one more person like a Kevin Owens level guy in there, you're looking at 4 of the best in the world, and that match could have been that match could have been. But I thought it was good. I thought it was a great opener. I'm going to be tough when it comes to 4 stars because I'm not sure if any of them were. I'm going to go with 3. 3 sad Ricks on this one.
I'm going to have to edit that if I can later on.
I like that you picked Edge too, getting the 3 days. So that's kind of for the pay-per-view. But I enjoyed it, dude. I'm not complaining at all. Like I said, I like almost has something about him. He has the it factor. Plus, he has the size because he's very charismatic dude when they let him talk. It's just he just misses everything by like a second, and it's like, man, if he just caught that with his size and all, it would look 10 times better. And it kind of saddens me because I like him. It's not like he's one of those wrestlers that just sucks and makes me angry. It's just it kind of makes me sad because it's like, wow, this guy could be way bigger than he is if he just get him on timing.
Yeah. And I always forget the what do you call it? Like the size difference between him and AJ. Just walking down the ramp just looks like he's being followed by a monster.
Well, WWE are lying about height. AJ's my height.
Oh, sure.
He's 5'7".
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. He's Daniel Bryan's taller than him. And they tried to book they booked Daniel Bryan at 5'8", and he's definitely taller than. It's like he's barely taller than AJ, but he's taller than AJ. So it's like, I don't know, man. And then that was the thing. You see Roman Reigns and John Cena, and they booked John Cena at 6'1". He was the same height as Roman Reigns, and they're saying Roman Reigns at 6'3". It's like, dude, you guys got to stop this. You got to stop with the big heights.
Just say your actual height. Nobody cares.
No, nobody cares.
They're just trying to make them sound bigger than it is because apparently Vince hates the little people, the little wrestlers. But we won't get into that right now. We got a lot of matches to go through. Unfortunately, we have to go through this next match, which was Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss. Which the best part of the match was somebody in the crowd had a sign that said Eva Marie is worse than an airport tuna fish sandwich. which I thought was hilarious.
That gets 4 stars.
Yes.
Wow. This is one of those weird things too, because I'm a big fan of Alexa, and Alexa in emo makeup is hot.
Yeah.
But like, and she's still good at what she does. She's still a good wrestler. But just putting her in, like, why can't I just watch her wrestle Piper, or the Drop or whatever? But even Marie sucks. Even she's not improved at all. I mean, and it was a bad gimmick match. It was a bad Raw match. That was the one thing, is I knew I wasn't looking forward to a lot of the Raw matches because just Raw's booking is so bad. Yeah. I'm gonna go with one sad Rick on this one.
Me as well. So there you go. That's what we got, man. That's what we got for this match. It's good that we might have a face turn from Piper Niven. Please stop calling her the Drop or Dewdrop or Ball Drop or whatever the hell.
Like I said, she's the Nia Jax they could have always had, and she can pull off. She can do both. She can play the big monster wrestler, and then she can wrestle on top of it, which you keep that to a limited amount, but she can pull out moves that would just mess with people's heads when you need it in a major pay-per-view. And instead, we get Nia Jax instead, and thank God she wasn't on the pay-per-view.
That's very true. I'll give that 4 stars. No Nia Jax, excellent.
So I think our guest stars are all asleep, huh?
I guess, yeah. I haven't heard from anybody. We were supposed to get a Matt Flowers. We were supposed to get a Nico Sozio, Eddie Valentine. I don't blame them. It's 12:30 here on the East Coast, so I don't blame them at all.
This is like 2 in the afternoon for me. So
yeah. We did have Slater. We had Mario Lopez at this show. I miss the days of celebrities just being in the crowd instead of being a special guest. Like, I thought that just gave it more of like, they're here because they're wrestling fans, not because we're paying them to be here or they're promoting something. But he did a good job. I mean, it's Mario Lopez. He knows how to interview people. When he interviewed RQ Bro, I thought he did a good job.
No, he did a great job. It was just an interview, and the best thing about that interview was that Heart Foundation T-shirt he was wearing was dope.
Yeah, that was cool.
I don't know if that's on the WWE shop, but it is. I might be buying that today because it is just like that purple. It was just a badass shirt.
That was very cool. Next match is Sheamus versus Damien Priest. This, I thought, had a very slow build. Like, it was a little boring in the beginning, but they finished strong. They finished really strong.
This was probably my surprise match of the night because, like, as you know, like, I'm not the biggest Damien Priest fan, and I've never been a Sheamus fan. But Sheamus always pulls out these hard hitting matches, and Damien Priest for being a thinner dude. He's a big guy, tall dude, but he's thin. He's wiry. Like, dude, they beat each other up. And I text the group, which Matt didn't respond on that either, or I didn't know Corey was working. He did a somersault out of the ring and landed right on his tailbone, and I could see his whole body lock up. That was painful, and I was worried. I was worried he was hurt. But this match was a lot better than I anticipated. Yeah,
and you mentioned that the suicide dive to the outside where he started like really holding his back. I don't know if it was if Sheamus was supposed to be working the back through this whole match, but if they switched it up, they did a damn good job because it made it look so real. It's like, okay, he injured that back because he messed up, and now they're just going after it. Sheamus is going and going and going.
I mean, Sheamus is a smart dude. He might have pulled, he's a solid wrestler. I'm not a fan of his character. He might have pulled an audible, and like I said, really hard hitting match, fun. I hate Damien Priest's yawn hair. I hate that yarn hair. It just it drives me insane. It drives me.
I like it. Just the fact that it's like it's usually dyed to match his outfit. I think that's kind of cool. I don't know. I like it.
Great match. I'm not sure if I wanted him to win this match right away. I knew Damien was going to win. I kind of thought maybe like that. There was a knee lift. Damien Priest went for a second rope, I guess that high kick he does to the head. And Sheamus came up and dropped a knee into his chest and chin. It was beautiful, and that should have been the finisher right there.
Yeah.
And I would have respected that. And then I thought they were going to do a second match at the Extreme Rules, and maybe Damien will win there. But I thought it was good. I thought the spot where he ripped the mask off and then just started beating the hell out of him was fun. This match was a lot better than I thought it was. It was like I said, I think it was the surprise match of the night. I think those guys put on a hell of a show. I'm still going to give it a 3. 3 sad Ricks.
I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed the match. Congratulations to Damien Priest, new United States champion. I think I'm going to give it a 3 as well. It's going to be a lot of 3s, I feel, at least for on this side for me. But not this next match. Usos versus the Mysterios. This felt like it should have been on SmackDown, and it feels like it was on SmackDown a couple of times.
That's what I mean. Like when Alexa Bliss was out, it felt like it was Raw. When these guys came out, it felt like I was just watching SmackDown. And it was weird. Like they had these, like, I know WWE likes to do that, like big match, bring it down, big match. But like, and as always, Ray was stellar. He was absolutely great in everything he did. But I didn't care for this match at all. I will give it 2, but there was another one of his matches that ended. I thought maybe his son was going to come in and jump him after they lost. But I think what they're doing is holding it off till SmackDown. And I think they would have got. I think it would have got a bigger reaction if they did it right at the end of SummerSlam if he jumped them. And there's another one of his matches where like there's this weird lag at the end. Where I'm like, where are they going with this? And then they just ended the match.
And it just ends.
But I'm giving it 2 because Ray was awesome. I'm gonna give it.
It's 2. Me as well. I didn't care much for the match. It was a good match, but again, it was nothing great about it. There was nothing SummerSlam worthy about it, and it felt like it should have been on SmackDown. I will give it props for doing the Randy Savage gear, which was kind of interesting.
Nice.
The old school 80s Randy Savage. So but a 2 for me as well. Next up was the weird dance with Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs and
do you want to do that?
Pat McAfee. No, I'm just saying that it was there. This was the Intercontinental Champion and did not have a match on SummerSlam. Just came out to dance.
We were talking about this when we were sending out to see if the rest of the gang was still awake to even do this. I thought I missed it. I thought maybe I went to the bathroom or something. I remember Shinsuke coming out and they were all dancing on the announce table. And then nothing happened. I was like, did I miss it? Was I playing on the phone and completely missed the match? Like, what happened? And you just confirmed it for me. Nothing happened. And
nothing.
It made no sense. It didn't need to be on there. No. And it was like one of those like match break type things where it wasn't in the right spot because Rey Mysterio match really didn't do anything to need a match break.
And you could have taken that the Mysterios and the Usos off and put on, Shinsuke and Apollo Crews. Let's have that rematch. I would love to see that.
I don't know what's going on with Apollo Crews. It looks like they almost abandoned ship on him again.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Shame, insanely talented kid who's really good. I hated the gimmick they gave him. I think he should have moved more into being like a lackey for Roman and maybe being Intercontinental champion under Roman. But I don't know. I'm hoping better things for him because he's way too talented to just be like a jobber on SmackDown.
Yeah, I agree. This next match, okay, was originally supposed to be Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. For whatever reason, Sasha Banks is not here. We don't know why. There was no reason given or anything.
There's been a lot of rumors that they had a couple matches like matches like during the week at like house shows. Yeah, and all the matches were pulled. So I don't know. Maybe she has COVID. Maybe there's an underlying injury that we don't know about.
Yeah,
it's a shame because I'm a big fan of Sasha and I'm glad she's back.
Yeah,
and it's sad to see that happen. But I think we got a nice surprise in it.
Well, I mean, I just wish they didn't, because I was looking forward to the match. I wish they didn't wait until the announcement, like until the ring entrances to be like, oh, by the way, Sasha Banks isn't here. That was very odd to me.
It wasn't handled well.
No, not at all.
It wasn't handled well.
The
Why couldn't they announce something in the beginning that Sasha couldn't wrestle, and then maybe do like an open challenge type thing, and she wouldn't know who it is?
It feels like it could have been. Maybe they were scrambling at the last minute. I don't know. But Carmella came out, which was a decent swerve. I'm sitting there pissed as hell, and I'm like, really? We just had like Belair just beat her and what's her face, Selena Vega on SmackDown at once. Like, why is this person getting a title shot?
I don't know, because she looked absolutely stunning when she came out to the ring.
True. I mean, she's a good-looking person, but it doesn't mean she automatically gets a title shot.
They don't treat her like one. She looks like a star.
No. But then big swerve. Becky Lynch returns, man. I got to admit, I gave a big pop when I heard that music, man. I was very, very excited. She came out. She looks great. Kicked Carmella's ass. And then they started the match. And this is where it all fell apart for me because I was very excited for a second. And then they just, it was over. It was some weird rock bottom type finish or something. And then it was over.
On the text thread, I text you, and I was like, "It's just WWE being WWE." It was the first moment in the entire pay-per-view where it felt like SummerSlam. We had a big, massive return. I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan. I think besides Roman, she's the only real star they have. So to have her back was fantastic. Seeing her, she came out like you said, she looked great. Phenomenal shape. She's only a year out, just over a year out from having a kid. Like she looks amazing. She came out. The crowd was into it, crazy into it. It was a big superstar moment, and they could have gave them even 5 minutes in the ring, 10 minutes. And then
it feels like they did Bianca Belair dirty, man.
Dude, they didn't just get the shovels out. They had a tarp with the grave already dug, and they just threw her in it.
That's and you know what? Awful.
You know what, dude? And I hate to say it, but they did her like Rhea Ripley, and they never handled her right, and they never handled her gimmick right, and I don't think she ever truly got over. And I think they had to face that moment right then and there and pull the trigger. It's just a shame that they didn't give her at least a decent match. It was basically sucker punch, rock bottom, and she won with a rock bottom.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
they called it something weird. They debuted a new finisher for Becky Lynch who hasn't been here in a year. They debut a new finisher for a woman that hasn't been here on SummerSlam, the second biggest pay-per-view of the year.
They called it. They knew what the finisher was, which is terrible.
Like she's been doing it the whole time. I forget what they called it. It's like the man arm or something. It was something weird. I'm like, okay, that's her new finish, I guess. The whole thing just really wasn't put together well at all. This shouldn't have taken genius writers to put together. We could sit here in 5 minutes.
It's one of those things too, because we're gonna have to rate this, and it's like Becky walking out 4 stars.
Definitely,
that crowd was into it, dude. It was electric. It was really good, like I said. And then she's just stunning. She comes out that smile she always has when she looks like she's about to punch somebody in the face. She just has it. It's just all there. Yeah. And then they do what they did, and it's like, oh, why did you do that? It just brings the whole match down. And it's like, you don't want to see Bianca go out like that if that's what happened. She's a talented girl. I don't think her gimmick is over yet, and I don't think her personality is fleshed out yet. But they can do it, and it's a shame. So I'm giving it a 2. I'm giving it
a 2. Say yeah. Yeah, honestly, I'm going with the same thing, only because it was Becky Lynch's return. If this had happened with literally anyone else, it would have been garbage. It would have been hot, steamy garbage. So, 2 for me as well.
Yeah, like I said, the moment was definitely a 4-star moment when she came out. But then when they did the match, it's like, oh, really? And like I said, it's WWE being WWE.
Yeah. This could have been an answer to them trying to top the Punk thing that happened Friday night, but I don't know.
Rick, little secret. There's nothing they can do to top that. Even the main event couldn't top that.
No, listen, because
I watched that 3 times last night. 3 times I watched it.
I watched it once, and let me tell you why I only watched it once, because the pop was amazing. The entrance was great. The promo was hot freaking garbage, man. He said literally nothing. He came out, gave pot shots to the WWE, and then challenged Darby Allin for no reason whatsoever. What was that about?
Because Darby Allin took a shot at him like a couple weeks ago, and that's who they wanted to work with.
So did MJF.
Yeah, well, I think he's next. I think what it is, I think Punk's going to be working with all the hottest younger guys. I could see him working with Jungle Boy too.
Just the whole I quit wrestling in 2005. Everything after that was not wrestling. Really?
It's
wipe your tears away with your $1 million paychecks, you dummy.
It's that typical like anti-WWE thing.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. Why bother? You're in a new company now. Everyone's great and everyone loves you. Talk about that. Don't talk about where you've been and what you hate.
They can't help it, dude. None of them can help it. When they get in there, they get excited. They know it's a cheap pop. I mean, I was just, like you said, man, with the entrance, him diving into the crowd was just awesome. His eyes being all full of tears when he was walking around the ring was really cool to see. And just little moments when he just turned around, he's like, he's like, do you want to hear a story? And he's like, I'm gonna sit down. And just how he had the crowd in the palm of his hand just for him sitting in the ring, and they popped like psychos. Was really cool to see. And it was probably the biggest moment in wrestling in years. Whether you like the promo or not, it was.
Oh, it's a huge moment. It was.
I just drank it in. I just watched it. I watched like a live reaction, like watching them come down the crowd, and all. It was like really cool to see. And
it's something that pro wrestling fans have been waiting for a long time. So yeah, it was a cool moment. Something that's going to go down in history. You're right.
And then he's going to wrestle Darby Allin in 2 weeks or whatever, and it's going to be huge. He's going to win. And Darby Allin's going to be better for that match. He's going to be even bigger than he was. And I got a feeling it's going to be a really good match. I don't know if he's going to work any before that, or he's working down in some kind of facility to knock the ring rust off. But
maybe, yeah. I mean, he was saying he's going to be there every Friday and Wednesday, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, this is not an AEW review. This is a review of SummerSlam. Let's get on this. What did you think about the Olympians coming out? The gold medals.
I liked it. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of respectful because nobody pays attention to like the Olympians when they win.
Yeah.
Of course, WWE signed both of these people already, and they're both on a contract.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Gabe Stevenson and Tamala Mensa Stock. Gabe
Stevenson is a beast.
Yeah.
I don't know much about what was her name again?
Tamala Mensa Stock.
But congratulations for being the first black woman ever to win a gold medal in wrestling.
Yeah,
that was really cool. It's really cool that it was an American that done it too, and did it too. She looks like an absolute physical specimen, though. She looks like a beast.
She's cut. She's definitely cut.
She's the glamazon gimmick that they can do with her is like a muscular. What they're doing with Bianca Belair, but this girl looks more for real. Even though I know Bianca's like a great track star and some other athletics, but this woman she looks like she's going to be a monster in the ring once they develop her.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what they do with them because, we've had plenty of success in wrestling with former Olympians. So I'm looking forward to it. This next match, Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. Again, this was another match that should have been on Raw. No, I don't think anybody cared. The crowd was dead. Nobody cared.
Give it a 1 star. Cedric. I am tired of Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like the guy. Hell of a
lot of people are.
They have written him into the point where I hate him. I can't stand him in the ring. They wrote him to that. He didn't do it. He's got all the charisma in the world, all the talent in the world, and he looks like he's built out of a lab as a world champion. He just looks like a world champion, and they don't know what to do with him after they took the belt off him. And I hate seeing this. The guy's lost in the shuffle. Jinder Mahal, geez, he looked phenomenal. Absolutely,
yeah, he was shining like crazy.
That boy trains like an animal.
Yeah,
no one cared. I think I did play on my phone and barely watched this match. There was just no interest.
Yeah. I was looking on Twitter about all that hate for the Becky Lynch match. That's what I was busy doing. Oh, there was a lot of hate. People were like, hey, great, she's back. But what the hell was that? That was pretty much the consensus on Twitter. But, this match should have. I don't. Enough with the sword. You're not going to stab anybody. Stop swinging it at Shanky and Bebop or whatever the hell their names are. Nobody cares. It's like, stop it. Like, you're dragging Jinder down with it, because the Jinder Mahal and the other two, what was it Shanky and
Rocksteady?
The other one,
I don't know.
Rocksteady. Yeah. So Baxter Stockman and the Foot Soldiers, they're out, and like you're dragging them down with you with this whole sword motorcycle nonsense. It's like, stop it. You could write it so much better. It could be done so much better. So yeah, one star for me as well to that whole match. Should have just kept it on Raw.
Like I said, man, the Raw matches were not built well at all. Mm-hmm. Whereas SmackDown, like, they did a really good job building their matches up.
Yeah. And this next match, again, not built well, but a great match, I thought. Charlotte Flair versus Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title. I thought this was great. Again, the build, terrible. Nobody cared. But
we talked about this. We talked about this on the pay-per-view. All three girls are talented. Nikki doesn't get as much credit as she does. Her gimmick is really limited in her style of wrestling. But the girls put out a great match. I don't care for one. Anybody knows me. I'm not a Charlotte fan, but it was probably the right thing to do. They kind of handled Ripley wrong. Nikki was not handled well. The gimmick, it was a great gimmick, great idea. But then they turned it into this, like, if I just try hard, she already has the belt. She doesn't have to try hard anymore. That storyline makes no sense when you're the world champion.
Yeah.
If I try really hard, then maybe no. It makes no sense. When you have the belt. It made no sense. And I hope Nikki's. I hope she's okay, because that moonsault Charlotte did and then butt bumped her right into the
guardrail.
Ring. And the guardrail looked brutal.
Yeah, it did. I think she's okay. It's a whole underdog overcoming odds. Children, believe in your dreams and follow whatever, like, I get it. But it felt like that gimmick didn't belong in this match. It was like a child's gimmick in a match for adults. It was a little weird.
Yeah. And like I said, that gimmick works when you're on your way trying to win the title. I got to keep trying. And if I do this, which would have been great. But when you're already the world champion, you shouldn't be thinking that anymore. You're the champion. Like, you should be thinking you're the champion. Like, I'm here now. I have to, like, hold on to the title, not try.
Not try. I'm going to do my best. But the crossbody she did to the outside was chef's kiss. Awesome. I thought this match was great.
Like I said, Nikki was one of those girls, like, because I'm a big NXT guy. Like, she had, she took the insanity gimmick and they made her, like, really crazy, and you really didn't get to see her wrestle well. And then she wrestled Asuka. And then they had that false count anywhere match, which was awesome. And it's like, this girl's really talented. And then WWE pulls her up to the main roster, and then she's just a flunky. And then now she's a really talented girl. And like, I hope they do something better with this gimmick. Because the superhero gimmick can work. It's just, it was the wrong timing in how they handled it. Because when she won the belt, she did huge pop. But now, like I said, then she won. Now she should act as a champion. She did it. And they screwed it up. I'm going to go, God, it's so hard because I hate Charlotte. I have to give it 3 stars because it was a really good match. I hope Rhea is not hurt. That knee looked like she definitely hurt her knee. We'll see where this goes, but it's just weird how many years later now Charlotte and Becky are both at the top of the ladder again.
Yeah, it's crazy. 3 stars. 3 stars for me as well, man. Same thing. Great match. The Nikki Ash gimmick was a little much, but hey, Charlotte Flair, 12-time women's champion, like, that's a big deal. That's a SummerSlam thing right there. That's something that should have happened at SummerSlam, and it did. So yeah, absolutely great. And this next match, dear God, Edge versus Seth freaking Rollins, man. Holy crap! Can we talk about the entrance, the Brood entrance? I thought I was gonna cry, man. I was like, this is so awesome. And then it broke down into the "You Think You Know Me" entrance. And that was great. Whoever thought of that needs a raise.
If you want to go with that, because the weird thing was like, this is supposed to be like WrestleMania Light. This is supposed to be our WrestleMania Part 2. The entrances were kind of lackluster, except for Edge's. Edge's was like, this was the next match to me that it finally felt like it was SummerSlam again. Like Rollins came out to one of his gimmicky outfits like he always does. And then Edge just comes out with that Brood entrance and the music. And I didn't get a chance to see SmackDown the last couple of weeks, so I haven't heard that music in a long time. Yeah. And it was really cool. And Edge looked phenomenal. He looked in great shape.
Yeah.
Solid match all around. I mean, I'm not sure about the finish. Is that like a new finish, him choking people out? Or was that just what they went with?
I guess that was, I haven't seen him use that before. I was happy as hell to see the Educator. You know, when was the last time you saw that? Like, it was probably still the 90s.
And Seth Rollins, like, as much as he drives me nuts too, when he caught Edge in a spear into the pedigree, whoo, like, he's so talented, so good at what he does. And that was another one, like I was talking about Sheamus. I really think that should have been the finish. I really think that should have been. I think that would have been a beautiful finish, and then you could work that match another 2 pay-per-views after that, and Edge finally gets his revenge on Seth. But I know because this is SummerSlam, they had to do it now.
Yeah.
But I really think if they had a big match before SummerSlam, that would have been a dope finish. And then Rollins just runs out of the ring after he hits him with the pedigree. I think that would have been really good. Great match. Yeah. Definitely the most SummerSlam feeling match of the night to me. I want to give it another 3 stars. That entrance was 4, but I'm going to give the match itself like a 3-star match.
All right, this is where we disagree because definitely I thought it was super hot. Rollins, no, I don't think there's anybody else in wrestling that sells as good as Rollins because every time he got hurt, if whether it was a big giant move or if it was just like a little, like I'm barely touching you, but it's just like a little. He's like, you know, he has the expressions on his face and the way he moves his body. I believe everything that he's selling. No. Everything he's so good at what he does. It's amazing.
He's like a Randy Orton where he makes everything look so easy. It kind of people forget how good he really is.
Yeah.
And it's weird how he's never really mentioned when they talk about the Kenny Omegas and but he's right up there with those guys and he's that good.
Yeah. So this match was great for me. I'm giving it 4 stars. I'm giving it I thought this was that good. We had a segment after this with The Miz and Morrison and Xavier Woods with a super soaker that was also a water jug or something.
He was dressed like Razor Ramon, and he was doing.
I loved the outfit.
That
Xavier's wearing. That was really great. I was expecting Kofi to show up just like Kevin Nash.
Same. I was so hurt when it didn't happen. I was like, that would have helped what was going on in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Johnny using all his water puns, which I know that would have done Corey proud. Corey would have been so happy.
Yeah.
Was it it's just Splashmatics? That one made me laugh. It was so dumb. I love John Morrison. Like this new Johnny Drip Drip thing is fantastic. They have to break these 2 guys up and they have to stop this.
It's already gotten to that point. Like the water thing is just as soon as I saw the water truck pulling up, I'm like, oh no.
But you know what?
What are we doing?
This is where you bring it down. And it was a smart move, even though I didn't enjoy it. I love Xavier. He's the man. But like, you had this insane match where the crowd was into it the entire match, and you got to bring it down and give him some energy back before the next big match, and it worked. I mean, did I like it? No, but like, I get why they did it.
Yeah, we got the double main event, which is why. So we had Lashley versus Goldberg. Okay, I was watching this with my girlfriend who doesn't usually watch wrestling, but during Goldberg's entrance, they were listing like his resume, and they were talking about how he beat Hulk Hogan for the WCW championship. She turned around and she goes, if you've beaten Hulk Hogan for a championship, you don't belong on this card right now. Like, you're too old to be here. And I just went, wow, that is so perfect. Like, that's amazing. And I'm like, that's absolutely true. And he proved it in the ring. He looked like garbage. He's in incredible shape. Yeah, he's in incredible shape. But wrestling in the match, it was a botch after botch. Lashley went for a chop block, and Goldberg somehow landed on his head
Twice. Lashley hit him in the front, and he rolled over and slammed his head into the mat.
Oh, what the hell was that?
This guy's dangerous. He's
dangerous.
This guy was never good when he wrestled back in the day. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I was on the Goldberg chain in the beginning when nobody knew who he was.
Yeah.
He was coming out smashing dudes. And then when they turned him into the full-blown Goldberg gimmick, it got tiring. And it's because we're wrestling geeks and we want to see people wrestle. It's just how it is. But he's dangerous. He almost killed The Undertaker. He hurts himself every time he gets in the ring. He's dangerous. And we were talking about it. There was a weird pause at the end of the match after his son jumped Lashley and Lashley put him in a hurt lock. And I really thought Goldberg was going to get up and spear Lashley, and then Big E was going to run in and cash in. And then it was just this weird, awkward pause, and then Goldberg screaming, "I'm going to kill you." It's like, really? Are you going to kill anybody? The only person you're going to do is kill yourself because you stink. Yeah. And I'm not giving the match this, but I have to give them it. The crowd gets 4 stars. They booed the hell out of Goldberg every time he had any offense, and they cheered Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley's the star now. And a lot of people, including myself, was getting worried, especially in the beginning, that they were like Goldberg had in his contract again that he was going to win a world title. Yeah. And it got really nerve-wracking for a second, and that crowd dug into it, and they're like, no, we're not having this.
Please don't. Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved that Vegas crowd for it. That was really fun. Bobby did his best with what he had when he was ramming his legs into the post. That looked good. It looked like Bobby. And there was a scene where MVP pulls Bobby out of the ring when Goldberg went to pin him or whatever, or went to spear him. And they were chanting MVP's name, and the crowd just made me laugh. It's just like they wanted no parts of Goldberg.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to give it 1 star. Like it was and it sucks because I'm a huge Bobby Lashley fan, but it was not good. It was not good.
It's the same for me because I hate to do it to Lashley because he deserves more than this, but that match was just hot garbage.
The sad part is this looks like it's going to go further. This looks like it's going to be longer, unless Goldberg just spears them on Raw tomorrow night. On Monday night, and maybe that's when Biggie cashes in.
Maybe. I mean, I'll take that, but man, I never want to see Goldberg again.
I don't. He's dangerous. He's dangerous, and he's going to hurt himself, and it's scary. It's
or really somebody scary. Else. Like they should have never brought him back after the whole Undertaker thing in Saudi Arabia. Like that was terrible. That was dangerous. That almost injured both of them. Like, what the hell? And then we had the main event. John Cena and Roman Reigns, man. This was another one that felt like a very slow build, but had an amazing finish. Cena just was getting beat down through the beginning of this match. Like, he was bad. Like, Roman was just walking around talking trash like Cena was nothing. And I'm like, damn, dude, it's John Cena. And he's just being punked out right now.
It was kind of annoying in the beginning, but it makes sense because Cena hasn't been in wrestling for how long? And then you have a guy who's been on a year-long streak that's just destroyed everybody. It made sense, but it was just weird. You're so used to Super John, like Super Cena, like doing his thing. It was weird to watch. There was a great spot where Cena dropped him and then rolled around to do the five-knuckle shuffle. And Roman just jumped up and hit him with a Superman punch, and John sold it like he was shot in the chest. And it was such a good image. I wish John would stop playing with his hair, worrying about his bald spot on the top, man. It happens, John. It happens. I'm sorry, buddy.
It happens to the best of us.
But it's great seeing John. He's still the big league player he is. I mean, that last 5 minutes was great. Still not a 4-star match for me, though. I thought it dragged a little too long. The ending was fantastic after the pin. I mean, Roman hits him with a spear, clean finish.
Yeah.
Michael Cole, I hate him. Freaking hate him.
Well, what did Michael Cole do?
So he hits him with the spear, and he doesn't sell it like maybe John's going to kick out. He's like, as soon as he hit him with the spear, he's like, and that's a wrap, match is over. And he sounded with no interest at all into it. And it really put a downer on the freaking end of that match, and it made me angry. Because it was a good match. Like, Roman's the most underrated wrestler WWE has. People don't give him the credit how good he is. John, for a guy who hasn't wrestled in years, he looked great. He's a lot thinner. He's a lot thinner.
Yeah. He lost a lot of bulk.
It just drove me nuts because every time you turn around, John's just doing one of these, and it was like, stop, just wrestle. But I'm a big fan of John. I like this shirt that he came out with, all 16 titles on the back and the different styles of the titles. It was one of the only, like I said, SummerSlam moments was him being there. It was great. And then the finish after, as soon as they announced that he was in there and the music hit.
Yeah. I almost missed it because I came down as soon as the pinfall happened. I ran down here to start emailing everybody and sending everybody the invites. And then I hear my girlfriend screaming, it's like, somebody else's music just hit. Who is this? And I run upstairs and I'm like, oh, what the hell is that? I thought it was Chuck Payne for a second with the beard and the ponytail and everything. I'm like, oh my God.
He looks great.
The guy's been living in the woods for like the past 2 years.
He looks great.
He looks fantastic. Absolutely. He looks in better shape than he left.
And this is the thing I like. This is what I talk about with WWE. How tall is Brock Lesnar?
I don't even know.
6'4".
Is that his build or is that his actual?
Either 6'2" or 6'4" in real life. Okay. I always forget. I haven't gone through his UFC measurements in a while. He was towering over Roman.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, you just said this guy's 6'3". Like, why is he towering over him? He should only be like an inch or a half inch taller. And that's what I hate when WWE does it. But Brock looked great. The reception was great. Roman sold it well. Like, what, why, like, how?
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman, man. I was just going to bring that up. Paul Heyman had no clue what was going on or what to do. He's like, like he had to have been, like, just the look on his face just sold that he had been fearing this. Like he knew that this was going to happen eventually. I loved it.
Paul Heyman, everything he does is an absolute masterclass. Like, watching everything he does, and it was just such a great moment, great finish to the pay-per-view. Like it. I kind of think it saved the pay-per-view in ways because, like I like I said, it was so like it would be up, and then the lows were so low. Like you get Edge and Seth Rollins, which I knew was going to be a good match, but I'm not a fan of either guy. I've never been a big Edge fan, never been a Seth Rollins fan. I was always a Christian guy, and I was always a Dean Ambrose guy over in the Shield. Now both of them are on the other federation. And it's just, but. You had this amazing match, and then Goldberg. And I give this match 3 stars. It almost got 4. If we could do 3.5, I would do a 3.5. It was the closest. It was a big match. It had a big match feel. Everything was big match. And then Lesnar came out, made it even more big match feel. And it was just making. Now we get to see this reverse where Roman's not trying to climb the ladder to beat Brock. It's Brock's back, and they still treated Brock like he's still the boss level guy in WWE. He's that guy. Yeah, and they needed something like you said earlier, like trying to do the thing with the Punk coming back. Brock coming back was bigger than Becky coming back. It's just the way they handled it. It wasn't not Becky. Becky not coming back wasn't big. It was just the way it was handled.
But yeah, man, I have to give it a 3 as well. Got to do the gimmick. Overall, SummerSlam as a whole, what would you give it?
As a whole?
Yeah.
2.
As a SummerSlam. A 2, really?
I'm sorry. Like I said, the lows were too low. You have Biggie, great match. You have AJ putting on AJ and Riddle, and then like I said, Randy Orton puts on. It just shines and looks great. Probably one of the best matches I've seen in a while because he was motivated. And then you have these Alexa Bliss. You have the McIntyre match. You have the Shinsuke Nakamura. You have the Xavier, and you have the Goldberg, and it just all this stuff pulled down such great matches that were there. Like I said, I'm even including the girls. And I'm not a Charlotte fan. That was a great match. Charlotte was on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And when she's on fire, there's nobody better than her in WWE at the time. I mean, right now in WWE, it was just, but the lows just ripped it out. Like it was just, it made it a slog. It made SummerSlam a slog. And so, and we have NXT tomorrow, which is only 3 matches. And that was another thing that made me mad about SummerSlam. They really didn't hype that Samoa Joe was in NXT at all. They didn't even hype it at all. Here you have the Raw announce booth, and they don't even go, "Hey, like our former announce guy wrestling for the NXT." Like it was weird.
Yeah, they really should have done that. I mean, they played enough previews for it with tomorrow night, and it's going to be this match, and this match. Yeah, I agree.
And all 3 matches are going to be fantastic.
Yeah, there are 2 other matches. I just don't know what the hell they are.
They only promoted the 3, right?
There's the they were only doing the commercials for the 3, but I know you got Cameron Grimes and LA Knight.
Oh, that's right.
And there's another match as well. I forget what it is though, because they didn't promote it at all. But
and NXT
overall, honestly, yeah, it's going to be great. It's probably going to be better than SummerSlam. If SummerSlam didn't have the surprises, the returns and such. It's probably going to be better than SummerSlam. But SummerSlam in general as a whole, I'm going to give it a 3. Only because you let me do the thing. Only because
you're going to reverse though. You're taking the highs. You think the highs were high enough to?
Yeah, I think I agree with you that the lows were very low, but I think the highs were very high. So it almost kind of balanced itself out. It's a shame that this is only a scale of 4, because if it was a scale of 5, I would middle it out. But it is what it is, man. Monday Night Raw, they've been dropping.
We could always do a 5 and just show a picture of Dave Meltzer, and just have booing sound effects in the background.
Yeah, man. It's the Raw stuff. Like Raw's been dropping the ball for a very long time. So the matches that sucked, we kind of knew they were going to suck.
I'll tell you what it was lacking. What it would have made it 3, almost a 4-star, is if after Lashley wrecked his kid, like I said, if Goldberg hit him with a spear, because that would have made more sense. After seeing his kid get hurt, he would have at least enough adrenaline and anger to do something like that. Biggie comes in and cashes in there. If they had that move, that big surprise title, like. And you can always have Bobby win it later or push it, and it was that's that one moment that I was looking for. And like I said, my girl's back. I'm a massive Becky Lynch fan. I'm happy she's back. And Brock, anybody knows me, I'm a massive Brock Lesnar fan. I'm happy he's back. But it was just the lows like really drug it through, and it just needed that. It needed something. Just needed one more thing to really make it SummerSlam-esque, and it just wasn't there for me. And it sucks because how many people were off the card that could have made it SummerSlam-esque? If you took those lows out, you threw a Kevin Owens match in there, or
Shinsuke, Apollo Crews, like we brought up earlier.
Apollo Crews. There was no Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And then on the Raw side, they didn't have anything there with their uber talented guys that weren't on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot they could have done. There's a lot they should have done. Again, WWE being WWE.
Edge, Seth Rollins, out of the park. John Cena, Roman Reigns, out of the park. The girls, out of the park. And then the 2 openers, the pre-show and a tag match, really fun matches that really got you hyped into the rest of the pay-per-view. And then they ripped it right out of you with the next match. And then it's just like this weird high-low, like, but it wasn't an enjoyable high-low. Like it wasn't like a bad guy doing something and stealing a title or something like that. And it's that ooh, like low. It was like, oh God, this sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that was it. That was SummerSlam 2021. I enjoyed it. In parts I didn't enjoy, but I had a lot of fun. I was thoroughly sports entertained, as they say. And I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. We're going to be doing this again. Mark won't be with us, but we should have Nick Burke, Eddie Valentine, possibly Nico Sozio.
I'm going to try. Just send me an email. I'm going to try popping in. I'm going to put the pay-per-view on at work. Tomorrow we're supposed to get hit with that hurricane. Yeah. So it might be pouring rain, and I'll probably be sitting around doing nothing. So I might be able to watch a good amount and pop on. I might be only able to comment on one match or whatever, but I'll try to jump on. Yeah. All depends on my associate that I work with, if she'll let me jump on and not panic. She hates that anything.
All right. So man, join us tomorrow. We're going to be doing that. Check out the Rassle Rock YouTube channel. That's a thing now. This is on the regular channel, the Rick Connor channel, because this is the only thing we can go live on right now because we don't have enough subscribers yet because Rassle Rock just debuted last week. So please go and subscribe to the Rassle Rock YouTube channel. Help us get those numbers up. Help us get custom URLs and the ability to go live and all this fun stuff. Corey Castle will be back eventually, I guess. He's working way too much right now to be on. But yeah, man. That'll be about it. Mark, you got anything to plug while we're wrapping up? No? Okay.
Yeah, nothing. You know what? Yeah. All I can say is if you didn't see AEW and Punk, form your own opinion, but it's probably one of the biggest wrestling moments in years, and you should actually sit down and watch it.
Yeah. It's a big moment. So definitely see that. But that's it, folks. That's SummerSlam. We will see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow for NXT TakeOver 36. Good night, and
also,
you're welcome.
This may be the last real NXT TakeOver in a long time. I don't know if they're going to clean house after this. So go support Samoa Joe and see him win the title if he's going to be the one retiring that belt.
Yeah.
So
definitely. And you're welcome again.
You're welcome.
See you, folks. Bye.